Hello everyone, you have come to Tata Comic Preview channel. Let read together. Have fun. This is an art collage novel video. I made this series so you guys can experience the story faster. The video will focus on the character's psychology, the images are for illustration purposes only. Zhou opened his eyes and exited the room. He saw Mingxian standing respectfully outside. He said, "Lead the way." Understood. The two of them went to the courtyard where Zhenghai was resting in. On their way there, Mingxian asked curiously, "Master, that red fish is really tough. I only managed to cut it after several attempts." "The red fish is from the abyss. Don't be reckless. Also, Qiyao's heart can grant one 1,000 years of life. It must be guarded well," Zhou said. When he heard this, Mingxian was shocked. He nodded vehemently at once and said, "Yes, master." Shortly after, the two of them were by Zhenghai's bed. When Zhenghai saw Zhou, he tried to get up, but Zhou said, "Dispense with the formality." Zhou extended his hand. Primal chi swirled around Zhenghai. He gauged the vitality inside Zhenghai's body. As he expected, it had recovered quite substantially. Indeed, he seemed to have about 100 years of life in him. Mingxian had already examined Zhenghai before this. Hence, he was not surprised. "Eldest senior brother, you're all right." "Thank you." "Eldest senior brother, I feel awkward when you're so polite to me." After examining him, Zhou said, "You're all right now. Sometime later, you'll come with me to Lulan." "Lulan? I'm going to deal with your obsession. Once that's dealt with, your memories will naturally return," Zhou said. Young Zhenghai did not understand these words. However, Mingxian understood what his master meant. He could not help but sigh. Lulan was the land of sufferings for Zhenghai. It was also where his obsession lay. After examining Zhenghai, Zhou turned around and left. Mingxian sat on the bed and said, "Fortunately, master came back just in time. Otherwise, who knows what would have happened to you?" Zhenghai was grateful. However, he was still at a loss. He asked, "Am I really master's first disciple?" "There's no doubt about it." Mingxian stood up, adjusted his posture, corrected his attitude, and bowed to Zhenghai respectfully. He said solemnly, "Eldest senior brother." From the day Mingxian called him eldest senior brother, Zhenghai had become Mingxian's eldest senior brother for life. This familiar form of address brought many fleeting voices and scenes to Zhenghai's mind. Perhaps, his obsession had melted away slightly. In his mind, he could hear others calling him eldest senior brother. A warmth filled his heart. His fingers shook. "Fourth junior brother." At this moment, a voice reached them from the other side of the door. "Fourth senior brother." Mingxian turned, recognizing the voice immediately. "Eighth junior brother? Why are you here? Shouldn't you be at the divine capital?" The one who came was none other than old eighth, Zhu Honggong. Zhu Honggong said, "The divine capital is fine for now. I came because I miss master." "Where's the old man?" "You're out of luck. He just went back." "You shouldn't disturb him now," Mingxian said. Zhu Honggong eyed young Zhenghai on the bed and asked, "Who's this?" "Well? Aren't you going to greet your eldest senior brother?" Mingxian asked. Zhu Honggong shook his head and said, "Fourth senior brother, cut it out. I may not be as smart as the rest, but I'm not a retard." He walked over to them and rested an arm on Zhenghai's shoulder. He greeted him casually, "Hello, there." Young Zhenghai responded stiffly, "Hello." Mingxian. There was nothing he could do to stop this. Zhu Honggong studied young Zhenghai's face. "I say, you do resemble eldest senior brother slightly." Then, he reached out and pinched Zhenghai's face. Mingxian. Mingxian cleared his throat and said, Old eighth. This is truly eldest senior brother. Stop pulling my leg. I rushed here from the divine capital. It was an exhausting journey. Don't worry, comrade. This is just how my fourth senior brother is. He loves a good laugh. Don't mind him, Zhu Honggong said as he turned to look at young Zhenghai. Zhenghai flashed a stiff but polite smile. No, not at all. Although Zhenghai knew these people were his fellow disciples, due to his lost memories, his manner was rather stiff. When the others heard young Zhenghai had regained consciousness, they came to visit one after another. Little Yuan and Conk were the first to arrive. Eldest senior brother. Eldest senior brother, Conk greeted with a smile. Zhu Honggong. Soon after, Si Wuya, Pan Zhong, and Zhou Jifeng arrived. Eldest senior brother. Mr. First. Zhu Honggong turned to look at his arm that was still resting on Zhenghai's shoulder. His expression was stiff and unnatural. Are they colluding to trick me? Duanmu Sheng was the last one to arrive. His expression was solemn and he kneeled before the bed and said, Please forgive me, eldest senior brother. When young Zhenghai saw this, he pushed Zhu Honggong's arm away and got off the bed. Third senior brother, quickly stand up. Thud. Zhu Honggong fell to his knees immediately as tears streaked down his face. Eldest senior brother. I've made a mistake. Can you please forgive me? Zhenghai turned around. Please get up. I won't. This is a trick. I won't fall for it again. Zhu Honggong pulled a face. Ming Shirin walked to Zhenghai's side and whispered something into his ear. Zhenghai was first taken aback. Then, he mumbled his agreement. He cleared his throat, placed his hands behind his back, and sternly said, Get up. Duanmu Sheng and Zhu Honggong stood up immediately. Then, Zhenghai said, Get lost, everyone. Right away. The others went away. Fine, we'll go. Humph. Little Yuan held Konk's hand and led her out of the room. Ming Shirin scratched his head awkwardly. He smiled and said, Eldest senior brother, the final statement was slightly overboard. That little ancestor can't be crossed. Is that so? Zhenghai looked up and stared at Ming Shirin. Ming Shirin lowered his head, stowed his smile away, and said, Eldest senior brother, you should rest well. I'll take my leave as well. Everyone finally left. Zhenghai sighed in relief as he sat on the bed. He wondered out loud, was I really so scary in the past? Meanwhile, inside the abyss. A glowing scarlet sword hovered above the boundless black water. Zhenghai was standing on the scarlet sword. His expression and mind were blank, and his senses were numb. He had lost all sense of time, he had forgotten how long he had been flying above the water. However, he did not give up. He kept flying forward. Splash. He could occasionally hear splashing sounds. Yu Shangrong turned around and saw a red fish leaping into the air like a ball of flame in the dark. It drew an arc in the air before it plunged into the pitch-black water again. What a powerful monster! This was the third monster he saw. He had been shocked in the beginning. Now, he was already used to their presence. I'm in luck. He had only been picked on by the monster once. Feeling helpless, Yu Shangrong could only desperately fly out of the monster's range. He was now lost in the boundless dark space. He did not know where he was at. He was aimlessly flying about. Perhaps, one day, he would fill the monster's belly. Perhaps, his mind would finally crumble one day, and he would plunge to his death. Swoosh. A cold breeze blew in the air. Yu Shangrong was slightly taken aback. Wind. If there was wind, it meant that there was passage. Sparks of hope and motivation were rekindled in Yu Shangrong's heart. He circulated his primal qi and sped forward. At the same time, he raised a palm and illuminated his path with an energy seal. In the dark space, Yu Shangrong dragged a meteor-like tail behind himself as he zoomed toward the incoming wind. A moment passed, Yu Shangrong saw a ray of light. There was a semi-oval exit that resembled a cave. He was overjoyed. He flew on his sword in the dark and flew out of the cave. Swoosh. Immediately, his vision widened. There were no clouds in sight. The sun was bright in the skies. He saw a dense forest and felt the surge of primal chi. He turned to look at the entrance to the abyss. It was like a black eye that was moving further and further away. Where is this? Yu Shangrong was shocked. In the faraway skyline. A huge yuan, a mythical bird, soared in the skies. Its appearance resembled a colorful long-tailed pheasant. Its wings were like long rivers and brightly colored waterfalls. It was emitting red energy from its body. Yu Shangrong's instincts told him he was in a dangerous situation. He had heard about the legends of Great Yan's 4 great forests. Have I wandered into the deepest part of the forest by mistake? Yu Shangrong lowered his altitude and sped away. He decided that it was best to avoid a beast like this and flew in the other direction. Yu Shangrong flew forward over a small mountain range and rivers. When he turned back, he saw the yuan crying out. Its cries resounded thunderously in the air, causing the birds in the forest to take flight. The beasts on the ground were also startled by its cries and scurried away. Yu Shangrong increased his speed. He rode on the wind and kept flying. When he looked down, he was amazed by what he saw. He saw a large number of beasts stampeding across the ground. The ground rumbled and thundered as the beasts ran. Yu Shangrong felt his primal chi depleting and quickly landed on a towering tree. After flying for such a long time in the dark, he nearly lost his balance when he landed on the branch. Fortunately, he regained his footing in time. After that, he lay down a huge branch and closed his eyes to rest. Naturally, he did not let his guard down. There were dangerous beasts around him, after all. After what seemed like a few hours, Yu Shangrong finally opened his eyes. He felt well rested and energized after his nap. Although he had tried to stay awake, he had fallen asleep due to exhaustion. At this moment, the sun was setting, dyeing the sky orange. For some reason, he felt the sun was much higher in the sky in this place. Dusk was coming. The dimming sunlight shone on the forest, making him feel relaxed. Yu Shangrong examined his primal chi. To his delight, he had almost recovered all his primal chi. He picked up his longevity sword and looked at it with a smile. You've had it rough, old friend. Without the scabbard, he could not help but feel that something was missing. Hence, he removed his outer robe and tore it before he wrapped it around the sword and carried it on his back. He continued flying. Soon after, night fell. Yu Shangrong was perplexed. Why haven't I encountered anyone yet? Even if this was the territory of the other tribes, he should have encountered human settlements by now. The 100,000-foot-deep abyss was close to Heaven's Moat. In that case, where did Heaven's Moat lead to? How was he supposed to return to Great Yan if he could not locate Heaven's Moat? Deep into the night, Yu Shangrong rested on a branch again. At the same time, he adjusted his breathing to replenish his primal chi. He was about to shut his eyes when he saw something shocking. He saw a huge group of cultivators flying toward him. The leader of the group had summoned a 150-foot avatar. Master? Yu Shangrong was surprised. He felt rather emotional. He had been stubborn and had acted willfully. He did not expect his master to come for him. However, he soon realized something was amiss about the group. The 150-foot avatar was red. 9 red leaves spun around the red lifelike lotus under its feet. Why was it red? He remembered what Old Fourth had said. Was his master trying something new? That can't be it. He looked at the skies ahead. There were many 10 worlds, 9 transformations yin-yang, and a couple of 3- and 4-leaf avatars flying toward him. They were all red. It was possible that his master was trying some new technique. However, for all the others to have red avatars as well? It was impossible. Still puzzled, Yu Shangrong shrunk back and concealed his presence. He stayed in this position until the 150-foot 9-leaf red avatar shot past below him to his left. It illuminated the forest and mountain range like a red-hot sun. It was glaring and dazzling. Yu Shangrong was shocked. That's not, master. Is there a new 9-leaf expert in Great Yan? He held his breath as he looked at the 9-leaf red lotus cultivators retreating back. He continued doing so until the red lotus cultivators vanished in the distance. Why is the lotus red? Despite being the great sword devil of Great Yen, he could not wrap his mind around this. In the end, he gave up on thinking about this and decided to focus on returning to Great Yen. He left his perch on the tree. He flew for only a few meters when a person called out to him from below. My friend. Yu Shangrong was slightly taken aback. He stopped in the air and looked down. He did not sense anyone else's presence when he concealed his presence earlier. Yu Shangrong smiled faintly. You have business with me, sir? Are you from the Sky Martial Court? Sky Martial Court? Yu Shangrong had heard of many sects after traveling the world for so long, but he had never heard of the Sky Martial Court before. Perhaps, it was a minor sect? I'm not, Yu Shangrong replied. If you're not, then what are you doing here? At this moment, Yu Shangrong suddenly discovered this person's accent was strange. He said, my apologies. If you suspect me, I'm afraid that I'd have to disappoint you. He felt awkward being questioned in this manner. I'm sorry as well. However, this concerns the Flying Star House, so you'll have to answer me. The Flying Star House? Yu Shangrong's reaction did not escape the person's notice. You don't know what the Flying Star House is? That isn't funny at all. Boom. He pushed away from the ground and shot into the air before he drew level with Yu Shangrong. Their eyes met. Killing intent crackled in the night air. Yu Shangrong was the sword devil of his generation. Naturally, he could acutely sense the other party's killing intent. He asked with a smile, you intend to kill me? I'd rather kill 1,000 innocent men than letting my suspect get away. I pray you'd be reincarnated to a better life. He raised a hand and launched a red palm seal. Yu Shangrong sidestepped it as he looked at the red palm seal in confusion. It was red as well. The person launched several palm seals again. Yu Shangrong unleashed an energy sword from two of his fingers as he pushed forward. The energy sword shot forth. Bam! It destroyed the red palm seal. A frightened expression appeared on that person's face immediately. Golden energy? Who are you? I'm Yu Shangrong, Yu Shangrong replied indifferently. Yu Shangrong? Which sect do you belong to? Yu Shangrong was slightly stunned. Those who heard his name would tremble with fear. Why was this man not cowering in fear? Yu Shangrong looked at the skies. Am I in hell? When he saw Yu Shangrong did not reply to him, he joined his palms and said coldly, die. Whiz. A 5-leaf golden lotus avatar appeared in front of Yu Shangrong. Then, the person attacked swiftly with a thunderous blow. He tried to charge at Yu Shangrong with his avatar. Yu Shangrong remained motionless in the air. His arms were crossed, and he was lost in his thoughts. At the final moment, Yu Shangrong's longevity sword broke free of its wrappings and burst forth with radiance. The scarlet sword released several energy swords. Swoosh. The longevity sword glanced across the person's avatar. Then, it flew in a circle and returned to Yu Shangrong's back. Boom. The person's avatar was cleaved into two, injuring him. He fell and crashed to the ground. His expression was one of fright at this moment. Yu Shangrong landed slowly. He looked at the person. He asked calmly, where is this place? The person's eyes were filled with trepidation. He shuddered and said, the people of Sky Martial Court aren't mad. You. Before he could finish his sentence, his head lolled to the side, and he stopped breathing. Yu Shangrong sighed and shook his head. He looked at the stars, preoccupied with his thoughts. After a moment's silence, he said tonelessly, interesting. Ding. Killed a target. Reward, 1,500 merit points. After the system's authority upgrade, its range has been increased. There's an additional reward of 1,000 merit points for the domain. When Zhou heard the first notification, he did not think too much of it. However, he was slightly surprised by the second notification. Additional reward for the domain? He remembered when he killed Qiyao at the bottom of the abyss back then, he was rewarded with 5,000 merit points. However, there was no domain reward. Where did this reward come from? Yu Shangrong.